What's up guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today I will be doing my first ever story time here on this channel. And I said here on this channel because in May 2016 I actually started a YouTube channel, but we're not talking about that today. We are talking about how all my pets died. And I have had many pets. I have had like I don't know what, like 15 pets. But anyways, you guys are gonna know how much pets I've had when I explain how all of them died. Okay, so guys, my first ever pet was when I got here, well, when I was living in Storytime, St. Anne, and I had a German Shepherd and a Shih Tzu. I'm not sure if my Shih Tzu was mixed with anything, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell my Shih Tzu story because my German Shepherd didn't exactly die. She's still well and thriving, but I just don't have her. So my Shih Tzu, I usually used to, where we lived, the first place, in St. Anne, I always used to end up in my parents' room sleeping, even though they would put me down in my room. And that night I was of course in my parents' room, and I heard dogs barking. I didn't know anything else. But when I woke up and I didn't see my Shih Tzu, because she would usually greet me on the veranda or something, on the patio or something. I didn't see her. My mom explained to me that that night there were dogs barking, stray dogs outside our gate. But we had a little fencing at the bottom of it, but our Shih Tzu was really tiny. And what happened was my father was throwing a stone. I don't know where he got the stone from in the room, but he was throwing a stone. And when he threw the stone, it frightened our Shih Tzu, and the Shih Tzu ran out the gate. He squeezed himself through a part of the gate and ran out, and the stray dogs attacked him. And the next day, me and my mom and my mom grew up in a family of Jehovah's Witnesses. So did I. And my grandmother was bringing me to the Kingdom Hall that day, and we saw my Shih Tzu. But when we saw her, she wasn't like healthy or anything. Her entire head was like curved in literally, and it had blood, and it had maggots inside and whatever. It was crazy. And she had a wire wrapped around her neck, and she was tied to a tree. And my grandmother, we didn't go to the Kingdom Hall that day anymore, and my grandmother called my mom. She called a vet. I don't know what exactly happened. I think I was young. I was like 3, 4. I don't know. I don't know exactly what else happened, but I don't know who picked her up and brought her to the house. But I know she came back to the house. Vet looked at her, did some random tests, which he didn't have to. I mean, her brain was being eaten out by maggot, and they were like, "There's nothing else they can do for her, basically. And if they did something for her, it's just just gonna be in pain or whatever." For the rest of the time, so they just put her down, and I cried. I was really sad. But anyways, moving on to my second pet, which is my German Shepherd. Basically, she is a beauty. Her name is Sheila. The Shih Tzu's name was Bryce. Her name is Sheila. She's a German Shepherd, full bred. And basically, my father, it was his responsibility after my parents left, and he either sold her or gave her away willingly. I gave her away. I don't know what happened, but we don't have her anymore. But he got a puppy because she mated with a Rottweiler, and we got a puppy. But that dog died a few days ago. He had a there was some bumps, some stuff coming up on its leg, and whenever the bumps got big, they used to just explode on his leg, and he was just so my father got someone to, yeah, it's not a vet put down. My father literally got someone to. But anyways, moving on to my next pet. It's kind of confusing because I moved to Kingston. I moved to Great Pond. Oh yeah, yes, my next pet was at Great Pond. My next pet at Great Pond was a crab, and I had these two friends. They were boys, and we usually went up to this road where that could have gone really bad, where no one was really at. When I used to stay with my babysitter, because the boy was my babysitter's grandson, and the other boy, he just lived next to me. Yeah, so we were neighbors, we were friends, the both of us, and they saw a crab one day when we were up there, and they actually gave me the crab. That was because the boy that was my babysitter's grandson, I'm gonna call him Ray. That's not his name, but I'm gonna call him Ray. He had a lot of pets. He had lobsters, he has hamsters, he had all sort of pets, and they ended up dying. It's kind of like my story. He gave me the crab. I took care of the crab. I don't exactly remember how he died, but I know he had some issues with his shell. I think he was changing shells, and he didn't have a big, crab shell. We only had like little snail shells, and I think the body of him, it was so nasty, and it got it got damaged, so he died. Yeah, that was my third pet. Yeah. My fourth pet, I don't remember. I moved from Great Pond to another place. No, I moved from Great Pond, and I think from Great Pond I went back to Storytime. And at Storytime, oh my god, I had so many fishes as a little girl. I got fishes because I used to sell them at school a lot. I bought a fish. I had it there. I think I had about 5 fishes, and the dogs in that yard, we had a lot of dogs, and I left it outside because I couldn't bring it out inside because it was a family house, and they didn't want, it was not like my mom's house or anything, and they didn't want the fishes. Well, the owner of the house, my great grandfather, didn't want them inside anywhere, whatever. And we couldn't put it in anyone's room because it's not like I had a room for myself. So they were outside, and one day the dogs just, my fishes died. But then again, it wasn't stable. It wasn't like a tank or anything. It was literally just a bucket with some pretty stones, glowing stones inside. And my uncle helped me with the maintenance and whatever. Yeah. So that's about I think I had about 5 fishes in that. So that's 5, 6, 8. That's 8 pets. What's the time here? 7 minutes. Okay. So the next pets that I had from Storytown, I think I moved to Kingston, because like every summer I would go down to my mom, and sometimes when she's not around, my little cousin would be there, and it would be so amazing with her. But I didn't have any pet at that time. But my uncle had a pet, and his name was Fire, and he actually died in a fire. Oh my god, how cool is that? But he didn't die from being burnt. He died from smoking, killing. But I don't know how they know that, because like the dog would have burned. How did I know that? But anyways, I'm gonna stick with Fire got killed by fire, and he was some. Oh my god, that's a story time for next time. This is me here thinking I don't have any story time, so I hell do. But anyways, I didn't have any pet there. We moved to Barbican, which is where we got Tizzy. I actually searched up her. She's a Pomeranian mixed with Shih Tzu. I actually searched up names, and I saw dog names, and I saw Lizzie, and I was like, my name starts with T, so I'm just gonna go ahead and call her Tizzy. And I'm gonna do a story time on the first time I got my first dog. No, the first time I got Tizzy. What happened? Because that experience was woo. So Tizzy, I had her for a long time, and I'm gonna just like skip through my pets, and then because she died at this house, and we had her since Kingston, since like my mother's second house at Kingston, because the first one burnt down. And at the second house we just had Tizzy. The third house, which is where we lived with my uncle once again, because first one was Barbican. Then when the house we got Tizzy, we were living with my uncle. Then the next house we were living by ourselves, and that was really near my school. Yes, that's the house that I got pets. So I got fishes once again because I want to be a marine biologist. I got fishes once again, and they sold crabs and fishes. So I got one fish, and then after a while I got another fish, and then they mated, and the first fish I got was black and white. It was like an actual goldfish, and the other one was gray, just gray, and it was a lot smaller and things. Yeah, but they mated somehow. And I got little gray fishes mostly, yeah, gray fishes, but with the exception of one of them, I had about 5 gray fishes, which meant I had 7 in that tank. And one of them, they were gray, like the body was gray, but when it came down to the tail, it was green, pink, yellow, and blue, rainbow. And I was like, from orange and black and gray, I get a rainbow. What? But I got that fish, and unfortunately she was the first to die because I wasn't speaking to my mom that day. I don't know what happened, but I was upset. I don't know what happened, but I was upset. And it was a day to change the fish water. And I don't like when they're flopping in my hands, which is something I have to get used to if I'm going to be a marine biologist. That's why I love having fishes to train. And they were flopping, it was flopping in my hand, and it just flopped right out. And I was like, I don't want to take it out. I don't want to touch it. And so because of that, I was freaking out because they can't breathe here. Olivia, she needs water. But what actually happened was I turned on the water, and the water pressure was so heavy, and I didn't have a clue that fishes could drown. But let me tell you, it was a beating on her. There was too much water rushing into her gulls, which is something I learned later on. And I called my mom. She took her up, dropped her in the water. She just went down, and then the next morning I woke up, she was swimming a little bit, went outside to feed them. She was dead, and I had a funeral for her, a legit funeral. I called because well, yeah, I had a legit funeral. I was crying. I think, let me tell you, story time for another time. Story time for another time. But yeah, I had a funeral for my fish. And a few hours after, I went around to her graveside to pay my respects, and my dog was eating her. Yeah. So, Tizzy, yeah, she ate her. Anyways, I had the rest of the fishes. I don't know what happened to the rest of them, but no. I had my orange and black fish, and one day it was raining, and really hard, and then I came out the next day. There were no, the orange one was not in the tank. All the other little gray ones, they swam down to the bottom. I couldn't find the orange one. She wasn't, like, it overflowed and she was around, to this point. I really think that, a bird swooped down and got her, because I mean, a cat's not gonna put its head, because it was a deep, not gonna put its head down there. And I think my fishes don't have enough sense to swim down to the bottom. That's what the rest of them did. But we couldn't find her. Whatever. I had the gray fishes. We moved, and we moved to the place with my uncle, and we got new fishes. I got some more fishes, and I think by this time I had 14 in the tank, because I had 5. And I added whatever it makes 14. Yes, I had 40 fishes in the tank. And I remember that one day I was changing their fish tank, and it actually turned over into this compartment that you have at the bottom of your fridge that keeps your vegetables, because one of those was outside. And then I just it fell out into a bag, and what I did, I just put the bag into like a little, close it up and thing. It wasn't a bag, it was like a shower curtain, and then I cut the bottom of it back into their enclosure. How they died was that I think I went to overseas, or if I didn't go overseas, it was that I went to my father to spend an Easter or a weekend or something. Not a weekend, a Easter or a long holiday, but I believe I went overseas with my mom, and I asked my uncle to just tend to them, please. I didn't want him to change the water, just want him to scrub the sides of it so that it wouldn't really cake up and block or whatever. But it would be nice if he changed it. And I got back, all my fishes were dead, tank filled with algae everywhere, they weren't fed. So yeah, all of them died. Then I got a crab, because I sold crabs and fishes at school, and I wanted to get a crab was because, well, marine life, and I love crabs. And it wasn't like those crabs, those white crabs. It was like hermit crabs. Yeah, I had hermit crabs. And when it was rainy and there was this pond thing that would dig up, but the thing about it wasn't dirty water. It was like clear as water that the used to form a pond whenever rain really fell. And we had that, and everybody would bring their hermit crabs and put them in the water, let them crawl. I don't know if hermit crabs can go in the water, but it used to be so cute. And I wanted a crab, and I got the crab. And that Friday I didn't know it was going down because my mom told me, which is when she moved. I was actually living with my uncle and my cousin. She was down there to keep me, and my mom moved to Falmouth, but she wanted me to do some more time at Mona. And I, through all this till now, when I'm actually at high school, I've been to 4 schools, 4 primary schools. And basically, ooh, I didn't have anything. I didn't have an enclosure for her as yet, but I just left her in the thing I got her in. And remember, just the hermit crabs have claws, and I left her in the thing. Came back the weekend, she tore it up, and she was gone. I was like, oh my god, there's the crab with big pinchers running around this place, and we don't know where it is. But I was freaked out that day. And then what happened was, I got to I went to the back where my uncle's dogs were, and in my uncle's dog's cage, because he had a lot of pit bulls, and he had 2 pit bulls at the time, Bella and Blue. Now he has 14. But I'm off track on what I was saying. Yes, so I saw the shell there, basically, and a claw or something. So they basically ate my crab. So I didn't have her. I just went down to my mom for the weekend, and she was just gone. Didn't have her for any time at all. I mean, I played with her when I just got her, before it was time for us to pack and get ready to go and whatever. But yeah, and then my last pet, which was Tizzy, she whichever leash we got her, she would just slip out of it, and she would run around the scheme and make noise, go bark at people, whatever. She would always be on the veranda barking at people. She's just noisy. And thinking about it, we should have gotten a dog cage, but whatever. It's gone now. And this woman, it turns out Tizzy used to poop in her yard, and instead of her really coming to us like the old lady that she is, like the grown-up that she is, then instead she offered my dog food, and that food was poison. I wasn't here at the time. I came home, and I didn't cry. I didn't cry. I don't know why, but I really loved her. It's not like I didn't love her and I wasn't attached, because I had her since I was like 8. Basically, Mama, I was like, I didn't hear any barking or whatever when I came home from the weekend. I was like, Mommy, where's Tizzy? And she's like, oh, Tizzy died. She explained to me what happened. A teardrop probably ran down my face, but I didn't cry or anything. She's not my last pet. So then I started online saying, oh my god, I want a hamster. So for my birthday, my last birthday, I got a hamster, and she was white. She was so adorable. She was baby. She was 2 weeks old, and she was, the size of a hamster, but she was 2 weeks old. I got her, and she was also adorable. She was an angel. She ate the right amount. She drank the right amount. She played the right amount. She kept to herself the right amount. She slept the right amount. She was just point. And then because I didn't have the drip for her to drink from it yet, what I used to do, I searched up online how to feed them without a drip, and it said you can get a container with water, and it has to be higher than her, but there should be a way where she can access it. So it's not like she's there and she's done and she's pulling on it to get water. you put something there that she can probably climb up on, and she just drinks and then she goes back down. So it's not like it's down there and she can be walking around in her cage and she hit it over, or it's not like it's higher than her, the rim is higher than her and she has to be pulling it down. But you were supposed to put something in there, a rock in there, wash off the rock properly, then you put it in there to stabilize it no matter what. And I did that, and you know, she drank, and at the appropriate time she wasn't drinking anymore. I took it out, so you know, nothing would happen. No one would shift the cage, it would turn over, you know, nothing, because water can kill them. Now for all of you guys out there who have hamsters and you're like, oh my god, I wash my hamster or whatever, or I'm planning to bathe my hamster, don't do it. You see a lot of people out there and they wash their hamsters and they put them in water. It's not good for your hamster, even though it doesn't affect them now, or it doesn't affect them to the point where you can see it. It affects them. You won't hear your hamster wheezing or whatever, but it affects their lungs. It does. A lot of people who do bathe their hamsters and absolutely nothing happens. Their hamsters are extremely old and they don't bathe their hamsters, like touch them or anything. They just put the hamsters in the water, let them swim a little bit, and aside from what they show you on the internet, they literally take it out like a few seconds after that, and they don't get their fur wet. They just let them swim on their belly, and that's all that you can do. And I would advise you not to do that either. Now what happened with my hamster was that my mom called me. I don't know where I was or whatever, or I think I was probably at home, and she was asking me, Tanivia, did you give her the water? And it was off my Christmas break, and I came down from my father, and it was 2 days before, and the last day I was leaving with her, I fed her water. I gave her water, and yeah, she drank. She had it in there for a long while. She drank whenever she needed to, and I took it out, and I was feeding her water based, because if you don't have a drip and you're not qualified to do this, or the way your cage is set does qualify to do that or whatever, you feed them a lot of cucumber, a lot of, you know, water based vegetables. I was giving her a lot of cucumber until it was time. I thought that I needed to do that water thing again until I got the drip. And I came home and I told my mother that. She was like, you sure the hamster not thirsty? I was like, mommy, just I'm her mother. I know when she's thirsty. I came home and she was curved into a little ball, little fur ball, and it was wet and it was just so cute. And I was like, what's wrong with her? So I took her down, because she was actually up there in my dresser, and I put her down on my carpet, and I put the cage down on my carpet. I'm getting a headache from talking so much. And I touched her, and she just rolled over, like she was like this into her ball, and she just rolled over like this basically, and then she just went back into her ball. And when she rolled over, like, I realized that all over the side over there, she was literally just sitting in water poop. And that was one of the effects of, you know, water on their fur and whatever. And basically that happened, and I was like, I looked in the food tin and I saw water. I'm like, and she had the bedding inside her cage, was when I was like, oh, you gon' get it. And I called my mom, and I was so upset. I was like, Mom, why did you put water in the cage? I said no. And she was like, but I didn't know it would do anything, whatever. And I cried, and I think the reason why I cried, because she was just a little baby. I mean, Tizzy lived a long, she lived life. She was there. She was living with us for about 4 years, and she was alive for about 4 years. That was, you know, she was old. She already had kids. She had puppies, which is, yeah, she had puppies. I'm playing with this cute little pencil case my mom got me. Emojis. Yeah, she had kids, whatever. So, but no, she was like really delicate, and she was just 2 weeks old, and I just had her. She was my first hamster, and I was crying, and I was upset. And to think she didn't have to die, and it was because my mom didn't want to listen to me because I'm a child and she's an adult. So she died, and then my mom had to buy me another hamster. Now this hamster was a devil hamster. I'm sorry if this is disrupting the audio. She was a devil hamster, literally. She was, I called her Penelope, no? I called her Madeline, yes. Madeline, and she was brown and white. She was hard to handle. I left her instead of having her in here because at night snow would kill me with that wheel, but I just left her in here. I put her out there, and let me tell you that one night I was up super late because I was finishing some schoolwork on the laptop, and I was printing stuff or whatever for school, and I was really tired. I was getting really tired, but I had to finish my stuff. I think it was an essay or something, and I just pressed my foot on her cage because she was sleeping, whatever. I wasn't disturbing her. I took my time and I pressed my foot. And let me tell you, this girl was planning to bite me because she was sleeping. She was in a fur ball. She was sleeping, and I put my foot down. And as soon as I put my foot down, she bit, and it was so deep because their hamster teeth are like long, so deep. But it wasn't so big, but it was deep, and it was bleeding, and I just started crying. My mom was out, and she's like, "What are you doing up so late?" And she saw me crying, and she saw my foot, and she just dressed it, whatever. And another day I was feeding her, and I got her food. I put it in, and then that time for her we had a drip because I didn't want any mistake like that to happen again. And I got a drip for her, and I put the drip in, and I realized it wasn't, I don't know, it was the first time she was using the drip. No, it wasn't, I don't know. We didn't have the thing to hold the drip on, so we'd always have it up, and so the ball wouldn't be like rolling or whatever. It would always just be dry with because the hamster has a bite on it basically. And I was kind of just activating it for her. I was just rolling the ball. I put my hand in, roll the ball, because I washed my hand. It didn't have the smell of food or anything. She was eating already, and I put my hand in her cage. I didn't put it in like in. I just put it around through the cage thing, and I put it to just rub the ball. And she bit me, and it's like this part, like how your hand and your feet have this like that coating that you can use a nail clip and just clip it off, or you can sew your hand. I used to do that. Comment below if you used to do that, or give it a thumbs up if you used to do that. Anyways, that part, and it doesn't show scar. I wish I could show you guys a scar, but then again, I'm glad I don't have a scar. Yeah, I basically showed her. She basically bit me, and I don't know. She always used to try and escape the cage. That hamster was doing acrobatics on the top of the cage, trying to reach to the opening and whatever. I think she actually got out once, and my mom, she ended up in the bathtub, which we're lucky for that. And my grandma was like, "Tanivia, why you put your rat in a," because they called it rat. "Why you put your rat in a bathtub?" Because my grandma was here at the time. And I was like, huh? Like, I just woke up. You're telling me I put a rat inside? Because I didn't know she was referring to my hamster as a rat. And I was like, a rat in the bathtub? I ain't been in there no more. And I went in and saw the hamster, and I was like, girl, how you get out of there? Anyways, I put her back inside her cage. And one morning I woke up and she was just dead. Like the hamster in there, she committed suicide. So that was my last pet, but I currently want to get some fishes. I want to get some glow fishes, and I want it to be legit with a filter and a tank and everything. Or maybe just a fishbowl. And I'll deal with everything else. But I want some glowfish, or even if I don't get glowfish, I want some pretty fishes. Or I probably want a better. But I want fishes. My mom wants a little dog, those small dogs, but it's not a noisy one. And you know, she stays in the house because my uncle actually has those dogs, and she went overseas to visit him a few weeks ago actually, and she liked them or whatever. They stay inside a lot more. They don't make as much noise, and she loves them, so she wants those dogs. But anyways, that's it for the video. I haven't had any other pets. Can anyone comment down below and tell me how much pets I've had? If you can calculate everything that I've said during this video, tell me how much pets I've had. But anyways guys, please like, subscribe, and the link to my other social media will be in the description below. And this was actually, if you guys want to see how I got this look, then please go ahead and watch my previous video, my get ready with me / my face routine / what morning routine and / how I define my curls or whatever, if you guys want to know how I got this look. And I basically just pulled out some of the plaits right here, the bigger ones, and I wet it, and it looks like this now. I didn't put any of the product that I did in this part. In this, it just curls up when I wet my hair. Yeah, so that's video. Oh, my OOTD is just really simple. It's just this big thing that needs to be ironed, and it's like that in the back. So anyways guys, once again, please like, subscribe, and links to my other social media will be in the description below. Bye.